Everybody for coming on this evening. Value your time, and we really do have an absolute superstar here with us today. And no, that's not me, obviously, nor Leslie or Martina. We've got the wonderful Jules Standish, who is absolutely brilliant. You might have heard some of her chat there, but she's written a book. More than one book actually. How Not to Wear Black. If you see Jules or follow her, I don't think I've ever seen her in black. So she definitely takes
Black,
that.
I do have black trousers in the winter, but
Ah, there you go.
anything from the waist down, I'm a very flexible color consultant. So love a
Flexible.
color, you should be free to wear it, but it's how you do it.
Exactly, exactly. And she taught Martina everything she knows about color because Jules also is the head of color at the London School of Style. So, and of course, we've already sort of briefly caught up on QVC, which is a more recent adventure, but
Mm.
one that sounds as if 35 shows in. Yeah, that's pretty good going. So it really is a great delight to have Jules here. I've shown her some of my crazy mood boards that are not in any way as professional as anything that Jules would be doing. But I thought it would be really lovely for her to have a look at that and then relate the bags to the color trends that are coming up, and sort of show that against our bags, and then look at all the latest looks and colors, and all the emotional connections that go with color as well. So Jules is an absolute expert and is going to enlighten us all, or confirm to those that had some ideas about this.
Yeah.
So over to you for a bit then, Jules.
Well, what I love about autumn is that everything goes into a different kind of color phase. For us emotionally, we are now looking at going into darker days and we lose our light. And what's really interesting is that we are all so full of absorbing colors subconsciously in a lot of ways. So when we have a lot of light and a lot of sunshine, it often really boosts our mood. And that's because how we absorb it in our body is very much a scientific physiological reaction. So we see colors and lights as wavelengths. And so when we think about the color wheel, when we see red, for instance, that is a long wavelength of light. And so that hits us quite hard. So when we see traffic lights, for instance, there is a reason why a stop sign is red. It is the way that it affects us physiologically, and also behaviorally through history, we know that red is that colour of danger as well as passion. So we have that colour association going on in nature too. So the wavelengths of light, how we see them, about 85% of what we see goes towards our actual eyesight, but about 15% is absorbed into the cones and rods at the backs of the eyes that go into the brain, and namely the hypothalamus gland. Now, the hypothalamus is a gland of temperature and heat, and hormones affect us very deeply, and our emotions are very much affected by our hormones. So when we see red, red has the ability to stimulate us. So it raises our adrenaline.
Hmm.
We
Yeah.
are actually affected physiologically by red. Lots of research has been done about red. Sports teams wearing red tops, do they win more than others? How we are affected. There was a wonderful scientific study done in America some years ago in a military situation where prisoners came into a red room and they got very aggressive very quickly. So they decided to experiment and they painted the room this shade of pink called Baker Miller pink, which some of you might have heard of. And when they went into this room, they instantly calmed down. And there's a book written about it, Drunk Tank Pink. And this Baker Miller pink actually became a real phenomenon because it was able to calm people down so instantly by being surrounded by this color. Now, after about 15 minutes, everybody started to get quite angsty. So there was always this question of how long does that last, that impression that we have.
Yeah.
But these studies are done to back up the science of how we see colour and light. So when we go round the colour wheel, so red is that energizer. So at this time of year, red is a really important colour to think about. And we have burgundy, we have cherry, we have poppy. red is a really big color this season as a
Mm.
trend. And I
Yeah.
think it's a really fabulous color for all of us going into autumn who are slightly maybe losing our mojo, feeling a bit lacking in energy, a bit kind of down because the darker days are coming. And red is that adrenaline booster. It will give you energy. It acts as a tonic. So wherever you sit on the color kind of season, whether you're warmer or cool, the thing about a bag and your bags is that even if that color doesn't actually belong to you or you don't feel you can wear it, a lot of people are scared of red. It's one of
Mm.
the colors along with yellow
Yes.
that people have a big fear of because it's
Mm.
wear bright red, it's very bold and out there. And if you see someone wearing a red dress and it's in a bright color, someone's wearing a black dress, you are going to see the person in red first. So if you want to stand out, wear a red dress,
Red,
wear
red.
a suit. However, in my experience, a lot of people might say, I love that shade of red, Jules, but how do I incorporate that into my wardrobe without really standing out? And
Yeah.
that's where the accessory becomes so vital, is that you can have a red bag. I have a red bag. I Instagrammed it today, your lovely jasmine bag.
Yes.
Have a red bag because then it's not something that you feel necessarily you are shouting about being in red, but
Yeah.
having that red accessory can absolutely give you that boost when you see it, when you hold it. So it changes a dark outfit by having that pop of red on your body, being able to have that as your accessory. So I always say to someone, if you're scared of a color, doesn't fit into your seasonal palette, you can wear that color. You can have it as an accessory.
That's the beauty of an accessory, isn't it?
Absolutely, exactly that. So when we go around the color wheel, orange, so we have red as a primary color, orange is a secondary. So what that means is you have equal parts of fun-loving, boosting, passionate, energizing red, and you have joyful, sunshine, optimistic yellow. And that combined gives you orange, known as a secondary color. Frank Sinatra was known for saying that it was his happiest color. Wears it, surrounds his house in it, loved it, loved it, loved the fact that he said that.
I
And you
like
know
that.
what? If you don't want to wear it, you could have it in your home, of course.
Yeah, my favorite
Martina
color.
just said she was doing it in her house because she's once she knew what her best colors were, carrying it through into your home because it's a
Mm.
comfort zone, isn't it? So if you have colors that you love, so orange is a sociable, adventurous, daring color. Now, when we go into autumn, we have lots of shades, lots and lots of shades of orange, particularly on the warmer side of things. So when we
Right.
look at orange, because of the combination of red and yellow, it is a warm color. Doesn't mean that cooler colors can't wear orange. Winters have a very neon orange, summers have a very soft pastel orange.
Mm.
But, and I know I saw it on your mood board, that burnt orange, that terracotta,
Yes.
that beautiful, rich orange that we will be seeing soon in nature. That is a really, really warming, lovely shade. One of the scientific studies done on orange was for a charity, and they experimented with using orange versus blue to encourage people to give more money to the charity. And it
Oh,
increased,
wow.
I think, something like threefold. And that's
Just by
because it's so
painting their
warm.
logo, or how did they
So they
do
had
that?
it as a background. They had
Ah,
a very distressing image at the front, which obviously
okay.
is what they do
Yeah,
sometimes to make people, but and the
yeah.
background was orange. And so the orange, because orange is so warming and friendly
Mm.
and approachable and fun-loving and optimistic. So that warmth is what appeals to people subconsciously, I'm sure. I mean, how many people would have said, "Oh, that's got orange behind it, so it's going to make me donate"?
Yeah, nobody.
It's so
Wow.
subconscious, but
Yeah,
I'm here today to kind of, talk about how we can make color conscious so that we get the benefits of it going into autumn, winter, psychologically and emotionally. So then when we go to yellow, it's all about joy and sunshine. The color that women really, really struggle with the most. So where most women tend to love black, yellow is the opposite. It's why I've worn it tonight because
Mm.
it is the color of the solar plexus as well. So it's about self-love. It's about confidence and
Yeah,
it's about loving ourselves. And I don't think we're very good at that, particularly as women. We spend a lot of time loving everybody else. And yellow is that sense of joy. So it is one of those colors that is used very much for high-vis jackets, cyclists, railway workers, because it is the color that is the most stimulating on our eyes, which is probably why people have issues with wearing a lot of yellow. It's incredibly stimulating, but it's
Ah,
mentally stimulating. So people who are having babies and don't know if they're having a girl or boy, want to paint the nursery yellow, the babies will really struggle to sleep because it's so mentally stimulating. But it's a beautiful colour to have in a study or a children's playroom because it will stimulate them creatively, stimulate
oh,
you
wow.
creatively.
Uh,
Often, if I wear a lot of yellow during the day, I like to balance yellow with blue because blue is very calming. Or yellow, you probably I tend to then take it off and put a calming color on because it can send me a little bit like overstimulating. And
yeah.
people who really struggle with yellow, when I give them a color analysis, it's kind of like, wow, I don't know what shade of yellow suits me. And it's a massive problem, this yellow kind of thing. There is
Yeah.
a shade for everyone. And if you've got a warm skin tone, there's going to be lots of shades. But if you don't like wearing yellow, that's fine. You have that lovely mustardy color on one of your mood boards, don't you?
Yes, sort of a slightly more, yeah, not as bright, and
No,
it is
that mustardy kind of
yeah, it's
almost
quite
I'll
nice.
share this board here.
Yes. Yeah, 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 yeah. Like people
I think
can
we should see them because it's so
Right.
yes,
key to
yeah, yeah.
what we're kind
Martin's
of
got a
talking
couple of
about going into
pictures,
color.
yeah.
Let
It's
me just
funny
So
enough, we've asked the question who else likes yellow. Got a lot of pinks and reds, bit of black, but no one's going for yellow.
yeah, see,
So a
it's a
bit
thing.
orange.
Yeah, it's a thing. Or yeah, I'm going to put my
And then
glasses
you'll
on so I
see
can read.
that's like the bigger board, and then we've got the little ones. That was like the top of this year, and then adding in the colours as we go through the season.
So that's really interesting that someone's put up here that they suffer from SAD. And it's a real condition for
Yeah,
people who lack light going through. And color is light. And so if you can, I like color, it doesn't love me. Honestly, I hear it so many times. It's really interesting how people feel about yellow. It's the one color that everyone really, really it attracts the insects in the summer.
interesting. So
Yeah, yeah, probably it does. Now we're going into autumn. Maybe there's an experimentation, but it does seem to be that color that people tend to veer towards more in the spring because we see that yellow
yeah,
daffodil, we see the sun, and we all get kind of like, yellow is around us, but
yeah,
um,
not for
wearing
wearing.
yellow is a problem. There is a yellow for everybody. I have to say that to you, and I'm
Ah,
going to show everybody because when you look at the spring fan, we have the warmer yellows here. So we have some lovely warm yellows. When we go to autumn, we're looking more at the sort of orangey yellow that you're talking about,
yeah,
which the richer, more muted kind of golden yellow here, which is on your board here with these
yeah,
colors.
yeah.
But winter has a very neon yellow. So I'm just showing everyone the difference. This is cool because it's not got the gold behind it. And then for summers, again, a cool blue base skin tone, we have the softer ones. So if you can't wear yellow or you feel that you really love it, but you struggle with wearing it,
Mm,
look to have a bag because it's such a lovely way just to have a pop of color on you. You could think about a scarf as well, but I do think a bag says so much about that color
at you, yeah,
without feeling overwhelmed. And I
yes,
always say if there is a color that you've never worn before, start really small if you are talking about wearing clothing. So maybe a little cami top, a tie, maybe little lapels, a pattern in a scarf. That kind of really starts you off. And if you feel good about it, get complimented in it, see how you feel because it is
yeah. It's a
an
good
emotion.
idea. Yeah, don't go all out first. Just
Yeah.
ease
So
your
when
way
we come to
into it.
green on the color wheel, green is a really fabulous color because it's the color of nature and it is the most restful color on our eyes. So when we were in COVID, we were all encouraged to go outside into nature, and that is because of the way green affects us. It is the balancer, the calmer. Green is all about the nature colors that make us feel good.
Yeah.
Green is generally a calming color. The thing about green is that there is an anomaly to that, and that's lime. And lime is a stimulating shade of green, and
Yes.
that is because of the yellow behind it. So
Ah,
these colors, whether they have a tint or a shade or a hue, they change. So it's like saying, can I wear green? Yes, everybody can wear green, but there will be potentially shades that suit you better than others. And that's because of what's going on with the mix. So
the
green
colours.
is
We
that.
had lime in the summer,
Hmm.
around in about July, and sold out in about 10 seconds. And it's that sort of thing that a lot of people go, oh, but actually as a bag, it can
There you
really
go.
get your
It's again,
outfit
it's the
off. Yeah.
same thing about where bags just so come into their own because a
Yes.
lot of people are very scared of wearing lime. Funnily enough, last year I had to write about Brat Green because I don't know if anyone's heard of Charlie XXX, but I hadn't.
Yes, yes, yeah.
Okay. Well, she had an album called Brat, and
Hmm.
it was literally, there was no picture of her on it, and she did it deliberately because she felt that that color of dark line was an ugly color. So she was trying to create this kind of like, I'm not going to put a picture of me looking beautiful on the front. I'm going to call it Brat and
Be a
create
brat.
a reaction.
Yeah.
So I was asked to write about it from a color analysis point of view and a color psychology point of view. And I thought, well, I can't say it's an ugly color and I can't say that it's bad because it's not. It's a beautiful shade
Yeah.
and lots of people love it. And it has some
Hmm.
fabulous benefits to the wearer or to the person who's got that color. Anyway, what was so funny about that is that my son is a musician. He's only 25, but
Okay.
I wrote for a music magazine that I'd never heard of before called Crack. Well, at my age, I'm kind of like, okay, we'll go with
Yeah,
that.
sounds cool.
Anyway, so I said to my son, I said, I've just done this whole thing for Charlie XXX Crack magazine. And before I knew it, I'd written a page and they hadn't just taken a line, she'd uploaded it into the magazine.
Oh, wow.
So my son and his band were all like, sorry, your mum has managed to
Your
get into
mum's
Crack magazine
cool.
and we've been trying as musicians for years and she's just gone and done it in a couple of hours. And I'm like, I don't know
That's
what I've
brilliant.
done. Anyway, I became quite cool, but I had no concept of what I'd actually done to the
Achieved.
band, which was very funny, really.
Oh, that's really good.
But when
Yes.
people use
Cool
colors, you see,
mum.
to get
Yeah.
reactions, that's
Mm.
really interesting to me that people use that color in their branding and, to project images to people. And that's what
Yeah.
she was doing, a very strong
Yeah.
image.
Well, I
So
lean
when we
to
think
love
about green, it's
lime.
also that refreshing, renewable, eco,
Yes.
nature,
Men as well.
love green. But again, people can have a lot of issues with green emotionally, generally because they wore it as a school uniform and they probably possibly didn't have a good time at school. So
Yeah,
I
right.
get a lot of that.
Yeah, it's quite a yeah, and it's that sort of dark bottle green, isn't it?
And
Yeah.
that was my school uniform, but I had a very happy school time. So I
That's
didn't.
funny you say that. Everyone that we drape says that exact same thing. Oh no, that was my school uniform color. I can't wear that. And it's always like the burgundies, the greens, like those types of colors that people are traumatized by.
Yeah. And it's really interesting. So emotionally, we can have these incredible reactions to colors that we just
From
avoid.
memories. Yeah. Oh,
Memories. So
yeah,
it
from
can work
memories.
both ways. You can have happy memories and maybe sleep in a room that was pastel blue by the seaside with your family when you were young, and therefore you've always loved that color.
Yeah.
So we have to always look at the emotions attached. And I would then say to someone, well, okay, that's just a shade or a couple of shades of green. Look at
Mm.
all the other greens that you've got, in your palette. I
Yes.
mean, when you're
Yeah.
talking about the limes and you look at the spring palette, for instance, I mean, look at all the different shades of
Yeah.
green in the
So
spring
many
palette. It's not
colours.
just lime. You've got that lovely mid green and it goes into all the blues. So lots of different shades to experiment with, which is kind of my job, is to help someone understand that they can feel happy in a different shade of that color that maybe emotionally has got those memories for them.
Mm.
And that's what green does. And then when we go into blue, opposite of red. So blue is the calmer. Blue is the color of the sky, the sea. So we have connotations with blue as that relaxant, that calm. And so when we go on holiday and we've got all the blue around us, what it's actually doing to our eyes is calming our nervous system.
Mm.
So blue is consistently voted the world's favorite color. Be interested to hear from you how many blue bags you sell compared to other colors. Would you say blue is more of a
Yeah.
bestseller than
We
anything else?
sell more blue for sure. Yeah, more blue. Funny enough, when I started, we used to sell a lot more black, but rarely sell black these days. But
Interesting.
blue, if I've got a safe color, then blue would be the one to go for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also
Yeah.
because, particularly with navy, there is a shade of navy for everybody. So it's that
Yeah.
black navy for, the very cool seasons in winter. And then we have the
Yeah.
slightly brighter navy for the springs, a soft navy for summers, and that marine kind of navy. But you
Yeah.
will know that you just change those shades slightly, and the turquoise and the teals. There are
Yeah.
some really beautiful shades. But for us seeing color, the blues have that calming effect on our nervous system. So high blood pressure, you can help to, calm yourself down. It is also the color of communication. So it's throat chakra, communication. Using it in branding is all about trust and
That's why
honesty.
IBM and all the big
Yeah,
corporate,
NHS,
yeah,
when you think
NHS.
about the
Yes,
trust
yes,
that you feel when you see the NHS, when you go into hospitals, the blue, the green, it's to calm everyone down. And
yeah,
green, really interestingly, a couple of things to say about green is that green has been actually proven to increase productivity in working spaces in offices. If you put green plants around, something like
mm.
15%, it will increase productivity. If you look at something green before you do something, it can help to increase your productivity.
Ah,
Green was used in hospital theatres because it was the opposite of red blood. So when they were
yeah,
operating, I can't remember the guy's name now. He's in one of my books, but my brain
yeah,
doesn't compute. But it was a guy, a very famous doctor, and he noted that when he was looking at the blood, when he looked at green, it really helped him to be able to cope with looking at the red because it was counterbalancing. So if you have
yeah,
someone, if any of you here have what I would call a high cheek color, a blushing effect on your skins, menopause, so you have this high heat color on your faces. If you wear green up against your skin in a shade that you really love, it will counterbalance the red on your skin. And that is how color works because you're using the opposite. So the reds and the blues will automatically bring a high cheek color down if you don't wear a lot of makeup.
yeah,
So um, that really, really can help. So I often advise people who have those issues on their skin, uh,
yeah.
greens can really, really help that. So these calming colors are brilliant for anxiety and, job interviews, anything that makes us feel, anxious, that we need some calm in our lives. Blue will do that.
Okay, so don't wear a red dress to an interview then.
You
Not that
can.
many
I
in,
think the
like
thing
to
is, if you
stand
wear
out.
red dress, yeah, you can. The thing about red is that it will show that you are passionate about your job, about what you're doing,
Okay,
about the subject matter. It will show that you've got that drive to actually get the job done.
yeah,
But I would always temper that with combining it maybe with some blue to show that you've got good communication skills, to show that you're honest and trustworthy, because
right,
that's
yeah,
also potentially something for a job that might. So it's again, when we talk about color, it's how do you combine colors, which is kind of what we
mm.
talk about with the bags, is how do you combine that color with your outfit to give that really nice balance. And
Yeah,
things in life are, if you wear a lot of something, it can have the opposite effect because it's too much. So if you balance it with accessories or maybe, a jacket, or you do some red with some blue or some grey, which is all about practicality and fair-mindedness, again, very popular in work situations, or some black if it suits you, but black is very authoritative. So using those different color combinations can be very powerful rather than overdoing it.
yeah,
And you see that someone's just says a red coat for my first date. Now that's really interesting because there have been lots of experiments done on dating sites about red lipstick, women in red, and it's always that way round that men instantly find anyone in red with the red going on, they find that really attractive. And it's because red is associated, in biological, historical terms with fertility and passion and sexiness. So that, yeah, if you want that
yeah,
sexiness, that, red, that passion, why do we all have red roses on Valentine's Day? Pink is red's friendly neighbor, so it's softer, it's more
right,
romantic,
yes. So you don't have to be quite so
out there.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So then you come to purple, and purple is again purple. Oh, yeah. Okay. So I'm going to tell you about that. So McDonald's have changed their colors to green and gone from red. And do you know what? When I went in, I used to go into some sixth form colleges and teach the kids leaving school about how to impress for an interview because lots of these kids coming out with great results, but they haven't got a clue what to wear, not a
right,
clue how to present themselves,
yeah,
or how to even actually walk into a room and introduce themselves properly. I
mm,
find it absolutely fascinating. They couldn't walk up and shake hands, look me in the eye. They had no clue what they were going to be wearing for their chosen profession. And what I found, really interesting about doing the hire or fire workshops, I used to call them, was I used to ask them the question is why did they think that McDonald's had gone from fast food red to green? And I believe their methodology and their thinking is that red is associated with fast food. So it's that go in, you eat, you leave,
Okay, yeah,
red
yeah,
and
yeah.
green, very stimulating. Whereas green is the color that people associate with eco-friendliness, natural products. So whether they're trying to change their brand image to we're now going more into the eco-friendly side of meat or whatever it is.
Yeah,
But that was, and they actually most of them knew because there were probably a lot of McDonald's eaters in the room there.
yes,
But
yeah, yeah.
really fascinating how
It
we
is
use color.
actually.
And then
Yeah.
so when you think of purple, we think of royalty, really. And in
Mm.
the old days, it was because purple dye was so expensive, only royalty and, the hierarchy, the church could really afford to wear purple clothing. So over time, it's been very much associated with that kind of luxury and association, I guess, with luxury products. When we think of Cadbury's chocolate, for instance, we think,
Yes.
yummy
Yes.
richness. And so when we use it in fashion, it's an interesting color. I wrote about it when Biden was inaugurated in America because all the leading ladies wore different shades of purple. I have no idea whether they had the same stylist or different stylist,
I've got a memo.
but
Yeah.
that purple was a nod to the suffragette movement and also that cycle. So they were nodding to their culture, to their
Right. Yeah.
patriarchy, that culture. And purple is also very much a higher spiritual color. So it is also that color of inspiration, leadership, but in a very much an idealistic sense, mediation. I went into a law firm once to talk to them about how they could think about not always wearing black, because so many lawyers go into
Yeah. We're
court and they
black.
wear black. But then when they're
Yeah.
in the office talking to people, then actually they need something that is more on a level of communication rather than authoritative black that has a different meaning when you're in court. So I talked a lot about purple because purple is that combination of blue and red. So you've got the heat, the coolness together,
Mm.
but it is a very good color for mediation. So again, Christmas coming, if you have a very stressful Christmas with lots of different relatives and stuff, think about doing it differently and maybe not always doing the red and green, but purple can look
Okay.
stunning on a Christmas table with
I
gold.
thought you were going to say don't invite anybody. That
Well,
would
that
be
is the other
different.
option, isn't it?
That's the other option.
Forget the colors, just do it all on your own.
That's it. Yeah, purple and my
Get
own
rid of the
yeah.
relatives.
Yes.
So
That's
yeah, so purple is very much now it's kind of Marmite to me, and from a color analysis point of view, I I don't go for purple because it's quite cool and I'm very warm. So for me, it's a kind of I have to find that absolute right shade of purple, and
okay.
it's a really quite a bright purple. So it's not something that I would naturally veer towards. If I do, I mix it with orange because I will always kind of go for those. But we come into quite a lot of purples at this time of year because it's that ultraviolet, that kind of richness of purple appears in all the stores.
In all the
It's not
stores.
as big
Yeah.
this year as it has been because it's not a chosen Pantone color, which tends to lead the army.
Yeah, lead the
Which we've
way.
got
Yeah.
the brown, mocha brown,
Which is nice. Yeah.
which is
So
beautiful because it's very grounding, it's warming, it's, comforting. And I think, in a world that there's a lot of turmoil going on, the brown, some people can find it quite kind of neutral and without that excitement, but it's very earthy. It really
yeah,
grounds us
maybe
all,
reassuring in a
very
way.
much so.
Yeah,
Yeah, so we've
craziness.
got that.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we finish with pink. It's not actually on the color wheel, but our eyes need different wavelengths to see that kind of magenta color. But pink is that neighbor to red. So a lot of pinks are red with white in it. But then when you add blue, it becomes very cool and into the magenta and the fuchsias. And when you put yellow behind it, it becomes that mango, warm, hotter pink. And the more
Mm.
salmony pinks that suit the warmest skin tones. And pink is all about love and nurturing and sharing and compassion and having fun, depending
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
shade.
Yeah,
So
and I suppose something like brown, because a lot of ladies here going, "Oh, I don't like brown, I don't like brown." I'm not sure I was really a lover of brown, but actually, I think when it's with something else,
exactly. And it looks so gorgeous with all the
mm,
teals of
yes,
I actually put some
oranges.
browns together here and some drapes, but when you look at those brands, and that's almost your mood board.
Yes, yeah,
So,
yeah, because
you
it's
know,
very
when you
much.
put it with the lovely golds and the
Mm,
terracottas, the different shades of brown, they're really beautiful. They're
yeah.
also really lovely with, actually, if you put brown, you know, this chocolate that is very popular at the moment, if you put chocolate with turquoise, I mean, look how lovely that
That
is.
is
So
lovely.
if you think about putting that, or even if you love pink, look at chocolate with that hot pink.
Looks
It's
nice.
absolutely
Yeah.
gorgeous. And then you can put it with red. Absolutely love that. Or you could actually put it with some gold. So, I mean,
Yeah,
there's a lot
nice.
of ways that you, if you see brown as that kind of boring color, actually
Mm.
it's a very good neutral. And it's a nice neutral if you want to come away from black.
Yeah, it's sort of a step, isn't it, without going completely.
Precisely.
Yes, yeah, yeah,
Mm.
yeah. And then we've got the berries as well. I think that's always quite a good alternative. Funnily, most of our customers, we find the berry, like the burgundies and the wines and the very dark browns, really difficult to sell. And they're really sort of the bottly, the more heritage colours, which when I started, I thought, oh, of course, everybody will love these colours. This will be fine. And as I was looking at the shelves, going, something's not
It's
quite
really
right
interesting. So,
here.
have you found that with everybody going a bit mad over burgundy, would you say that that's a color it's kind of you're going more cherry, more berry, so
Yeah, we've gone
a
more.
lighter shade
Yeah, that's
than
it. We've gone the more cherry,
love that.
sweetest. Yeah, because I know that the burgundy just doesn't appeal
No,
to our customers, which is so weird when you look at the really big successful brands.
yeah,
They've always got that, and I always thought they were really quite safe, and those would be the colors that you would have, because you wouldn't, they're just there, this sort of thing. But
yeah.
no, and it's always
It's
been.
really interesting. Well,
Tim
there's a lot of
hates
it
it if we
around.
order anything in Burgundy. She's like,
Yeah.
no, because it's like,
Well, yeah. I mean,
it's
you know,
funny.
doing what I'm doing certainly at the moment with on QVC, there's a lot of fashion in Burgundy.
Mm,
Chocolate and burgundy are the two big neutrals of this year, but
yeah,
there are shades of each. You know, when you look at some burgundies, you know, they really are cherry actually because they've
yeah,
got more pink in them. They're a sort of more,
yes.
you know, a softer shade than that really dark
Yeah, and
burgundy.
that's the kind of way we've gone without anything too. But then we've got the good thing is because we've got all the accessories, we can bring in some of those other shades so that they complement and
Yeah, I
tone
mean, wearing
and
pink and
take
burgundy together
over.
is a beautiful combination. So if you
Yeah,
love to wear burgundy, put a pink bag with burgundy,
yeah,
absolutely gorgeous. A navy bag. Those
yeah.
two neutrals really complement each other. Put cream with burgundy. It's absolutely beautiful. So there's lots of ways
Mm,
to do it. If you love to wear burgundy, then you can accessorize with another neutral or with a color. Or if you don't love to wear it, then you've got your cherries and your reds and other different shades that you can kind of. It's a bit like when Pantone give us a
mm,
shade. Everybody goes,
yes.
oh, well, that's cool. I can't possibly wear that. You know, ultraviolet was a shade with all springs and went, everyone else went, well, I can't wear that. And I'm like, well, there are lots of different shades of purple. What they're saying is that this leads the orchestra. However,
Yes.
if you love purple, there are different shades for you. And I think it's the kind of same with mocha brown. I mean,
Yeah.
chocolate's sort of taken over, but there are
Yeah.
lots of shades. You could go into the more caramels. You could go into camel, which is a lovely color, or
Yeah.
the beige or the taupes.
Yeah.
So what we're kind of
Yeah.
seeing is a trend. And
Yeah.
whilst I love a trend, I'm also all about you having something in your wardrobe that's going to last. So something you're going to love that goes with what you like, and then you can incorporate those trends, you know, and make them work for you. Mix your colors up, put them with your neutrals. Check is a massive trend, for instance, at the moment. We've also got, you know, the heritage you mentioned,
Yeah.
big thing, you know, the heritage, the check.
Yes. Yes.
You know, we've very much got the kind of 80s styling is very much back as well, that kind of the big shoulders, you know,
Yep.
cinched in waist. So that kind of really classic bag is going to look fabulous with that. We've got a lot of lace. We've got a lot of lace around, which is really, really pretty. And
Yeah.
then you kind of, that's very feminine. So depending on your style, that's a very romantic kind of look. And I love what you do on your website. I don't know if everybody knows that you do the classic, you're looking at people's different styling styles. So whether they're someone
Yes.
more romantic or classic or quirky, they can look on your website and get some inspiration from different styles that might appeal to them.
Andrea? Yes, yeah, well, that's what we've tried to do to try and broaden it because I think for many people, color can be quite difficult to understand, but most people sort of instinctively know how they kind of like to dress. So that's sort of a safer way of thinking about it. Whereas color is complex. Even I've
And
realized
Cindy,
how much
Cindy's
more
just said,
complex.
actually, you're really interesting because Cindy, I did something on my Instagram last week actually about burgundy, being a spring myself. And actually, I've got some burgundy trousers, which are a really nice shape. They really suit me from a style perspective, but it's tricky for me being a spring. I agree, it's not part of my palette, but I teamed it up with some cream and my mango pink, and that really kind of worked for me.
Yeah,
I think that,
good idea.
you've just got to, if you've, some things are always going to be in fashion that you might struggle with more. And then it's kind of the whole thing of, when I wrote How Not to Wear Black, it was all about how do you wear black if it doesn't suit you up against your face? And there's so many ways of doing it, incorporating in a pattern, wearing it away from your face, putting your nice jewelry there. So you've got either your gold or your silver, being able to just think about anything below the waist and then just combining with your best neutral. So there's lots of ways of doing it, but you're right, it is about understanding how to do it. And then
Yeah,
once you've kind of got a few hints and tricks on that, then you can use your wardrobe, season upon season. I think it's really what's hard is that we are constantly thrown trends and different fashions and we're
yeah,
meant to follow everything. And it's like exhausting and very expensive.
yes,
And actually, if
indeed.
you've got your styling and you've got the things that you love, when you come across something that you know is going to enhance your life, your wardrobe, your colors, your look, then that's when it's worth the investment. That's when you should really go for
Yeah,
that because you will
dig
really
into it.
value it. Yeah.
Yeah, dig into it then. Yeah. So interesting. It really is. Yeah, it
But
really
it's a
is.
great time now to put your summer things away, revisit what you had from last year, and look at things in a different way. Put things together that you might not have thought of before,
Yeah,
different colors, different combinations, and then look at where the gaps are. Look at the current trends and see if they fit and what you can add in. And I think that's where your bags become so fun because you can add
yeah,
that color in to a wardrobe that you might have had last year and you think, well, that all works. That's great. But I need some pops of color and I need that quality that I know next year still going to go with everything that I love.
yeah, yeah. So sensible shopping as well, you see. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the
Good.
sustainable way, really, isn't it? It's about
It
adding
is.
those
Yeah.
things in when they come along, but actually working with what you've got to recreate things that are exciting. I mean, fashion should be fun.
Yeah, and
It should
joyful
be
and
fun.
just not something I know for something that you do every day and then you could get so confused about it and you're just like, oh, just go with it. Yeah, I know. Yeah, fashion madness. So yes, Martin has actually just asked, has anyone got any questions they'd like to ask Jules from the chat here? Anything? Oh, what's that? Going here. Who or what determines which color is going to be the color of the season? And why does everyone follow that dictate?
Now, it's really interesting. So we have a
Yeah.
couple of big influences in the world. Pantone's one of them. Pantone is a color institute from America. We also have WGSN, which is
Mm,
Worth Global Style Network, and Coloro. They've already told us that the color next year for them is going to be transformative teal.
right. Okay.
We've been told. Um, Pantone have not announced their color of the year. How they do it is interesting because what they do is they tend to, the year before, they announce it. This is how Pantone, what I don't know about WGSM,
DSM.
is
Yeah.
that Leatrice, who's the director, she has talked about it in some of her webinars that I've watched, and she's fabulous, is that they go around the world and they look at the zeitgeist of what's coming. They look at the films that are coming up. So
Mm,
when you think about what we had last year, we had a hot shade of magenta, and Barbie was the big movie everywhere. So everything went pink nuts. I
Yeah.
honestly, by the end of the year, I just couldn't wait to talk about something. Much as I love pink, I
Uh,
couldn't wait to talk about another
you
color.
wait for burgundy.
It was just like everyone was into pink, and it was
Yes.
extraordinary. So that was they then picked that up as what was coming, and then used that to pick a shade that they felt was on the world stage going to be something that was going to be embraced by everybody for what was going on in politics, in culture, in art, in fashion. So they would grab all of that, look at all of what was coming, forecast, and choose
Yeah.
that color to kind of guide us. Okay. And I
Yeah.
think that it is really interesting because, when I was teaching color, it was always fascinating to me when I talked about these kind of colors, um, you know, how many people were wearing them or were using them in their home,
you can still be hanged for it.
because that is what they're expecting us to do. That's what they're helping us to do, is give us, like the leader of the orchestra. So you get lots of Pantone
Yeah.
colors. Every season on the catwalk, we see different colors come through. So obviously in spring, we're going to get the brighter colors. We're going to get the softer pastels in summer, the richer in autumn. And then going into winter, they're going to be, more monochrome and probably that jewel tones. So we get
Mm.
led by that one color that
Uh-huh.
leads us throughout the year. And that is the psychological kind of presence that color has, not just in fashion, but in interiors too. So
Yeah.
it's,
They need a
it's a
guide,
helper.
don't they?
It's
Yeah.
a
And they
helper.
need 12 months anyway, just to produce all the stuff that comes on off the back
Well, exactly
of
that.
that. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah. Keeping it going.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
So, it's very interesting to really think about, even though we're told or we're helped or we're given all these kind of, helpers along the way with color and fashion.
yeah.
That's an interesting question. Should you alter your color with age? So I have an opinion about that, because I do hear a lot of women. I mean, I'm in my 60s, and I know that when I work with other people of my age who've decided to let their hair go naturally grey, do their colors all change? Now, a lot of us feel, certainly as we get older, that we start to feel a bit invisible. And that's because, we do fade. That's just fact. Our
Yeah.
skin gets paler.
Wear
Obviously,
more
the
red.
darker skin tend to keep their skins looking good for longer, because that's, the genetics.
Yeah.
Um, but it's even more important to stick to your genetic colours. So, what I mean by that is, if you decide to keep colouring your hair, it's really important to make sure that your colours are either going to be part of the warm tones, because that's your genetics, that you
Okay.
were born with a yellow golden skin tone, you stick with that. Now, you might go paler or softer, but that's the basic undertone you have to stick with. If
Right.
you start veering away from that, you can actually wash yourself out even more. I had someone here last week, and she had decided to let her hair go grey, and she'd completely lost it because she was a warm skin tone, but because her hair had gone grey, she'd morphed into all the cooler colours, because that's what was happening to her hair. When I showed her that actually she was a warm skin tone and that she needed to keep those up against her face, but potentially go softer with the basic undertone that was her genetics. And maybe sometimes, like, let's say you dyed your hair black and you were a
Yeah.
warm skin tone, but it didn't belong to you. For that period of time you have black hair, it might well be that you can wear black away from your face because it's harmonizing with your hair. However, the genetics of your skin have not changed.
Yeah. You can't really
Knock yourself
change that,
out.
can you?
That's such an interesting point as well, because I've draped a couple of people and with Leslie, and there's been a couple of people I've really struggled with, and eventually it's just like a light bulb. I'm like, your hair's wrong. Like, you've dyed your hair the wrong color and it's not harmonizing with your skin tone.
Yes.
And then when you say that to them, when you go to your hairdresser next time, say put warmer highlights through it or warmer tones, and then that just makes the world of difference because they're kind of fighting against one another.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think the aging process is hard. I don't think any of us are going to deny that. It's hard.
Mm.
And I think for cooler skin tones, you've got to keep the ashiness, the more platinum. And actually, for cool skin tones who are going grey and white, they're not going to need that reboot because they're going to be cool all over anyway. But for the warmer skin tones amongst us, it is difficult because that
Mm.
suddenly looks like it's not harmonizing with our genetics.
Yeah.
So, in a way, we have to work harder. But you know what? I look at people like Prue Leith on TV, and I look at Mary Berry, and I think, do you know what? they sell probably more clothes that they wear on TV than they do cakes and bakes. Because when you're looking at someone who is still rocking their colors with their personality, feeling confident at their age, that just to me is such an important part of aging. And we can do it now in our society. I don't know about you, but my mum, she never felt this way about fashion and colours. But actually, why shouldn't we? Why shouldn't we still be really visible as we age, but in the way we want to be seen, not how other people think we should? We come into a phase of our own, I think, where we're free to really embrace who we are at this stage in our lives.
Yeah,
And yeah, we should rock colour if that's how we feel about it. We shouldn't be made to feel invisible. We shouldn't go soft and pale. We really need to get into the colour. More
that's it,
important than
ladies. That's it. Never mind the suffragettes. To the colour jets or something.
Oh, I
Yeah,
love this. So
it's so
look,
true.
had pink
Yes.
hair.
Pink
Love
hair.
that.
That's right.
Pink
Yeah,
hair.
pink hair. That's it. I think Claire Murray's just said that she did have pink hair.
Oh, I love
Um,
you. How fabulous is
yes,
it? Yeah.
yes, that's
Oh.
it. Yeah, that would be a new one. That would be start dyeing my hair to match my bags.
Oh, your mum.
Oh
Okay.
no, it's my
Oh,
mum.
what a cool mum you had. Wow.
That was very standout.
Yes.
Good for her. Good for her. So, any more questions, everybody, before we release Jules? Because this has been so interesting. Actually, I mean, I know a bit about color, but honestly, you make it so exciting as well,
Oh, well, I
and
love
really
it.
relatable.
For me, it's a very emotional area. And I
Yeah,
think that if we can help ourselves feel good in any way that we can, color is, all around us. We can grab
yeah,
it. We can grab it with anything,
that's
fashion,
true. Yes,
our
yes,
accessories, if we want to start, uh, just putting a picture up on a wall, bringing a plant in.
yes,
Honestly, it doesn't have to be expensive, but make yourselves feel good. We're in a world where I think self-help, it's kind of a really overused word, but for me, it's about really embracing yourselves,
embracing it.
increasing our
Yeah,
confidence wherever and whoever we are. And color can help you do that, even if it's in a really little way.
yeah,
Then, yeah, and you can spread it to others. If you wear a happy color, people are going to pick that up. Smiling releases happy
yes.
hormones. Just saying.
Just saying.
Good
That's
place to
become
end.
just saying. Yes, just saying. That's brilliant. Thank you so much. You can see everybody's really enjoyed that. And ladies, at least I can feel as if, oh, I got the colours right, at least somewhere in amongst it all. So, yeah, that's really, really great.
Oh, well,
So,
thank you so much for involving me. I love
no,
your
thank
bags.
you. Brilliant.
I love your bags. I've even
Thank
got my
you.
gorgeous little leopard print because, I just, leopard print, when you put that with your reds and when you put that even with another shade of brown or
Yeah.
gold or, the pot pink, I mean, love
Yeah.
it. Honestly, I love your bags. I think you're so clever and I love the
Thank
fact that
you.
you can change all your accessories. So I wish you lots of luck for this autumn winter because I think
Thank you very much,
it's an
Jules. That's
exciting
brilliant.
time to be in
Yes.
fashion and accessories, isn't it?
It is, yeah, yeah. There's a lot going on, and people have become much more open-minded, so that's good as
But we
well.
can have fun
Um,
now. I think we can
Yeah,
express ourselves without being
exactly.
feeling that we're being judged. There's so much
Yes.
more choice and we're much more open to it now. So I
Yeah,
think it's have fun and feel good and boost your mood and yeah, just enjoy it.
there we go. So that's it, ladies. Enjoy it. Color, everything. So brilliant. Thank you so much,
Thank
Jules.
you,
Thank
Jules.
you
That was fab.
everyone for
Clapping
tuning
hands.
in.
Brilliant. And
See
I
you
will see
soon.
you soon. Yeah,
Bye.
take care. Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh,
There we
gosh,
go.
that was like doing another course.
I know. It
That was
must have been just
brilliant.
like your
I
course.
know, I've
Yeah.
learned a whole other chapter now.
Uh-huh. Yes, that was further than chapter one then.
Yeah,
So
she's fabulous.
yeah.
Really enjoyed that.
Oh, she is lovely. Yeah, she is
Hmm.
nice. Yeah, she is.
Good.
That's the
Right.
good thing about meeting people like that. It's the
Yeah.
the joyful part of this job, just meeting interesting people. And she
Hmm.
really does love color. As you can see, she's super enthusiastic.
I
Uh,
know.
so that's just which is nice. And she doesn't mind black either, even though she wrote a book.
Well, yeah, I know. We've all
Yeah.
got to have a bit of black somewhere, I
We've
suppose.
got to. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Right. So I'm going to share my screen again with the technology. Here we go. Share. Right. Can everyone see that? Slideshow.
Yes, using some lovely
Here we
Orange,
are. Welcome to
orange
Q4.
coral,
Hmm.
orange coral. Here we are.
Right. Do you want to talk about the highlights of
Yeah,
Q3?
we want to try and make that, close that bit there. It's quite small, but that might just be my crazy screen here. Can everybody see that okay?
I've got it up full screen, so hopefully
Yeah,
everyone
that's
can
cool
see.
then. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was just me having a little tiny thing there. So good place to start. So highlights for me really have been the sea in terms of our collections, the sea glass shores. I think that was pretty lovely, and the elements which we've been carrying through. And again, partly with me trying to think of things that will move in a more of a flow sort of from now sort of through this year and into next year. As you've all got more bags, it's now finding ways, it's become even more complicated to make sure that every bag you get can actually be dressed to move correctly through. So that's why that was so interesting for me there. Um, More of patent croc. It's such a beautiful leather, but that shine and it's waterproof as well. Well, almost waterproof, a lot more waterproof than full grain leather. So that for me, and the fact that you've all really loved that. And I was looking in the chat there, and so many people really into that tortoise shell, which I was really glad about because that's a really is a lovely thing. And as you'll have seen, lots of live shopping. I am at, as I was saying earlier, I am a true believer in shopping live. And I have honestly been waiting at least 5 or 6 years for this to happen, particularly with our bags, because as you all know, there's such a range and so many things that you can do with them that a website really is almost like dead airspace sometimes. And you can never quite get the colors exactly as they are. So more of that. Hopefully, some of you enjoyed the swap shop last Saturday. So that's something new that we'll be doing more of. But it was a bit, what was it? Organized chaos, I think. There was some organization. Thank you, Moira. There was some organization. It's like whenever you do anything new, you never really quite know how it's going to go or what will happen. I do think that I never imagined that we would have 500 people in the chat chat lines, and certainly Megan never wishes for that to happen again. So we'll get better at that. But hopefully it was a bit of fun anyway. It brightened up our Saturdays. Obviously, we had the summer party as well on the boat. So that was lovely. 2 days of chat, which was really good as well. Hearing from everybody. And more stuff, cosmetics bag, which was actually in gold in those various colors. I've been finding those very useful myself. Series two of 3 bags on a boat. So that was nice. We had our first guy on that as well, which was really good fun. Andrew, he was very very fun guy. Dressed like a sailor when he arrived, and somehow seemed to manage to leave with our sailor's cap. So no idea how that happened. And obviously Leslie and I dipped our toes a bit more into the US, not just into the swimming pool, but we did meet some Instagrammers. Obviously, things are a little bit slightly off piste. Thank you, Donald. But I'm sure we'll get back there. Oh, and somehow I seem to get another year older. Turned 50 and a quarter, and it's just been awful. But I'm still here. As I say to girls now, I'm still alive. So I think that is quite a feat. So. And we obviously got Julia and that's really about breaking up our lives a little bit, so that we've just having different people. And she's been great. And I think you must have seen most of us in the office now on the lives, because everybody quite enjoys getting their turn. And I know that Gemma absolutely adores it. So she's been having great fun. I think when she was a child, she wanted to be an actress. So this is really her opportunity. As long as she doesn't apply for anything in Hollywood, we'll be okay. So that was our highlights.
Hmm.
Yes. So
So
sounds like
now time for the big reveal of our Q4 comp bag. Drum roll.
A drum roll, if only could have a drum roll. Blah, blah, blah.
Here we are. It's the, come
Yeah,
on,
it's
computer, work. There we go.
there we
The
go.
mini
There
S
we go. There we
is
go.
back. It's the second time we've done this as a comp bag this year, but this time in metallic because it's the party season. So we know
Yes.
you like a bit of shine. So we've got three colours here. We've got metallic magenta, which is brand new. We've never done this leather before, so it's brand new and absolutely gorgeous. We've got metallic rose gold, which is not the exact same as a blush rose. It's a different texture. It's more of a full grain shimmer leather. This one, it's not the same rose gold, but it's not far off in terms of color. So if you were a fan of that, then this is perfect for you. And then we've got the metallic titanium, which has been a firm favorite for a wee while now. So we thought that that would
Yeah.
be a good one to bring out.
And they look really lovely. They really
Mm.
are. They're a great size, just for going out. You get everything in them, and still sparkle. So I'm looking forward to seeing you, all the ladies, adorning these as we go through the next part of the season,
Yeah.
and seeing all your adventures. Lots of pictures in the Bags of Joy Club, I think.
Yes,
All
and we
those,
do, of
that
course,
should
have
be good.
flaps and tassels to coordinate. The questions are coming in already. Yes, they will all have
Yes,
matching
of
flaps and
course.
tassels. You can get them very soon.
Yes. So
Mhm.
there we go. So after this, we'll open up the reservation system. So they are really lovely. Yeah. So then we've got
The
what's that?
comp, this is the
Oh,
comp
the comp
gift.
gift. Yeah, I
The
was a
comp
bit
gift,
confused
which
myself there.
the other
Yes.
tiers. This is a 395 spend. So we're going to do the Art Deco solos. We've got four colours in the mini, and we've got four colours in the standard size. So that's this season's comp gift.
Yeah, which again will be lovely on your bags
Mini,
of
yeah,
reservations there, the mini S's. They're going to look really
yeah.
nice.
Yeah, we've
Uh,
certainly got plenty many bags that have come out the past sort of couple of quarters with the Rosas and the Marys and the mini S's. So, yeah, like some lovely choices there.
yeah.
So, my rules, ladies, I'm going to tell you them all again because you all broke them last quarter. So
They do it to annoy you.
right, we're being
Yes.
strict this quarter. We are absolutely cracking down here because it's admin hell. I know it's boring, but please, 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 please stick to them. So reserve your gift or bag prior to making any spend. So this quarter is going to run until the 23rd of December. So that gives you a full 3 months to get shipping. And to get your comp bag, it's a spend of 695, and to get your comp gift, it's a spend of 395. Now these are treated separately, so it's not like you spend 395 and get a gift and then hit 695 and you get the bag. It's 395 or 695, but of course you can participate as many times as you like. Use the same email address for all purchases. You've all got about 10 different surnames and 10 different emails. So please, and I'm the same, I have two names right now, but please just try and stick to the one email address and the one name, and then it just keeps Amanda and Gemma happy. Um, so
It means we can track you.
it means we
Yeah,
can
you
track
don't
you
get to
because
miss
as soon
out
as you
as
use a
well.
different name, our technology isn't it doesn't know how, it doesn't know how
Yeah,
to
no
track different
tech
names. And so
knows.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
we
impossible.
cannot backdate spend. And please, as much as you beg me, we can't. We absolutely cannot. So if you don't reserve your bag before making spends, I'm really sorry, but we have to be absolutely strict here because it just keeps it fair for everybody. So just make sure you get your bag reserved tonight, and then that way you're sorted. So it's all
Like
good.
you.
One reservation at a time. So please don't go on and reserve four bags, just to keep it fair because the comp bag promotion is quite a limited promotion for our VIPs, but we want to make it fair for everyone and ensure that all our VIPs can get the color that they like. So of course, as soon as you are near the spend to complete your first spend, you can of course reserve another one. That's absolutely fine. But just keep things fair. And a new rule for this quarter, you naughty ladies, please don't list your comp bags on pre-loved, purely because it takes away the joy for other people and it takes away all of our hard work as well, because we've spent a lot of time this year, designing, well, Sarah especially designing these comp
Yeah.
bags and picking the colours and everything else. So once they go in pre-loved, it just kind of spoils it for everybody else. So we do ask that you please keep your comp bags off pre-loved. And then that way it keeps the promotion nice and exclusive for all our VIPs, because that is what it's all about at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So that's us there. So that's
Great.
my golden rules for the quarter.
Golden rules. There we go. Joy rules. Joy rules.
So coming soon, let's talk about something more fun.
Yes.
Yeah. So a big colour for us this quarter is the sherry, as we're calling it. Sherry?
Yeah,
Sherry?
cherry. Yeah, cherry berry, cherry. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
not
so
quite burgundy like we were saying, because I know a lot of people find that the burgundy quite hard, but we've got little bits to compensate for that as we go. So it's a very nice sherry sort of color, this one. So very elevated and sophisticated, but still gives you a pop of color as well, which I think is going to be really nice. And so you can see we've got it sort of flowing through, and the color is going to flow right the way through almost till July actually. So even if you're buying something now, then that color and in as a bag, you'll just be able to keep using, and you'll certainly be able to keep pimping. I'm not sure if we're allowed to say the word pimping, but certainly not on Facebook. But in here, we're okay. Pimp your bag. Not
mm,
that's what my use of pimping. So
yeah.
yes.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous shade, and obviously we'll be showing you how to style it depending on what season or personality you are as we go through the weeks and the quarter. So if you are a spring and you're thinking, oh, it's not my palette, don't worry, we'll be showing you some hints and tips to make it more spring-like and how you can wear it. So it's a really, really gorgeous shade. I think it's going to be a big hit.
Yeah. Bear in mind, I'm a spring, so it's got to work for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's always a good thing. And what is orbit? Orbit, that's a thing in the sky.
Well, we're going to show you
Can
that
be
in a
our
minute. We're
only,
going to
that
show
can
you
be our
that.
only
So,
hint.
yeah, so you can see everything laid
Yes.
out here. We will, of course, have the coming soon page updated in the VIP club room after this. But Rosa, we've got three beautiful colours. Orbit's a special limited edition leather, which we'll show you in a sec. We've got teal, which is making a huge comeback. And as Jules said, there is the colour of the year for 2026. So let's get ahead of the game here
It
and get
will
all our
just
teal bags. And it's such a great
move
colour
us
for
over into it.
the winter as well. Like it looks really lovely with the lichen wave. So if you've got a bit of lichen wave, get yourself some teal when it comes out.
Yes.
Mini S, we've gotten quite a few new colours as well. And the Sarah Tote, we've restocked a few of the classics and a couple of new ones coming out. The same with Dahlia and Millie and Millie Pouch and Mia. Well, Millie and Millie Pouch had a break this quarter, so they're coming back this quarter in some classics and a few new metallic titanium, sherry, and navy patent croc. And then we've got the Mia in some classic colours too, and we're popping the teal in there as well. So that is
Okay.
some of the bags we've got coming. And we do, of course, as always, have a few surprises we'll drop in along the way because we can't tell you everything, but we'll try and tell you as much as we can for now.
Keep you
Mhm.
interested and keep it exciting, because if you knew
Yeah,
everything, then it would just be boring, wouldn't
it
it?
wouldn't be the Christmas quarter without surprises, would it?
Exactly. Yes,
Right, so here
exactly.
we go. These are our limited edition collections. Now, you're trying to have to try and imagine these because we've only got these little squares just now, but wait till you see them made up because they are stunning. They are so, so nice. Um,
Yes,
so
cherry and the cherry, and remember Jules was talking about the lace, and lace really is a big thing, and so that's been quite the hunt. It's actually called sherry lace, but don't worry about that, it's a wee typo. But it's that is those two first ones are almost paralyzed, not paralyzed, but paralyzed. I'm sure I can
so
say
you
that
said
word
paralyzed. I
very
was like,
well.
what?
Yeah, paralyzed. So
Paralyzed.
rubbish, paralyzed or paralyzed. Oh God, I've now got another set of words I can't say. I definitely am 60 plus, honestly. So yeah, they are really, really stunning. So when you see them and when you see them up close when we launch them, you are actually going to die because well, because you'll be paralyzed by the colors. Oh God, they're beautiful. So that real navy and the sort of cherry bit through it, it's really, really pretty. And they go with so many things. And remember, that's the thing. Everything I try and source has got to be able to go over a whole range of different colors. So really, really good. And you can see Orbit there, and I have to say that does not in any way do her justice. But when you see that close, it's got sort of purples and greens and golds through
Titaniums. Yes,
in
gorgeous.
sort of little swirls, but really, really chic and really, really elegant. So I was thinking, God, I want to now go out every night to some sort of big do because the orbit and these top three are just like that's where I want to be. But yeah,
Yeah.
really nice.
Yeah,
It's
it
I
actually
really
looks really different in the flesh. It's so hard to see that one, but if you can look really
is.
closely, you
Yeah,
can see that the
yeah.
swirl embossing through it, and it's
Exactly. Yeah,
gorgeous.
it's really nice. And yes, the leopard is super special, leopard luxe, and it's very golden. No
Or
cowhide there. Um,
no furriness. It's just
but
like
yeah,
a almost
but
like a
don't worry,
metallic sheen over
Zoe.
it.
You'll love this. It's really, really different. So yeah, trust me on that. And then our kaleidoscope. Yeah, it is like a giraffe print. You're right, whoever said that earlier. Um, and for me, it's like the coat of many colors again. And it's got the little squares in it too. So it's picking up some of these trends that are coming. And it might look quite outrageous. And when you see all of these together like that, they don't really do each other justice. But when you see them all broken up and then teamed with the bags, then you'll be really the coolest woman in the room. So don't worry about that. We've got your back on that. And the kaleidoscope reminds me of one of those funny enough, one of those kaleidoscopes when you turn them and it
Mm,
all colors change. So hence the name.
yeah.
So
Someone's saying the
yeah.
orbit's quite like the stained glass back in the day. It actually is. It's like a sort of darker, that
Yeah,
kind of
a
same
wee bit,
effect, a wee
yes,
bit, yeah.
yeah, but really, really, honestly, yeah, that's a standout one, that one for sure. In fact, they're all
Mm,
standout, really. All the hunting makes it worthwhile when you actually see it.
yeah.
So yeah, something for everyone, I think. Um,
Hmm.
and as I was saying earlier, it is about dressing up not only new bags, but the bags that you've already got, and be able to have these little pieces. And you'll see we're even helping you by putting them in sets and trying to take away some of the confusion. And our Tuesdays, when we launch a new collection, we are matching it with other things that you might already have. So it's much more of a cohesive way of looking at things so that you don't then have to think, oh, I'm not going to use that bag anymore. But I'm trying to get it so that you can keep using your bags, but you're updating them as you go. And then hopefully we're giving you a bit of inspiration on the Tuesday with the whole collection. And then we're showing you how to break that up and dropping in lots of other lovely things as we go. So hopefully that's a bit more helpful.
Yeah.
And yeah, makes a bit more sense.
Wendy's saying that she's still got a kaleidoscope she uses when she's stressed. I love that. You
Ah, that's
twist it when
cool.
you're.
Yeah.
That's a great
Yeah,
idea.
that is actually, yeah, because it's
We should
probably
probably
quite
get a set for
calming.
the office that we can see all the
Mm,
nice colours in now.
that's it. Tiny ones. Yeah, tiny ones to go with the kaleidoscope.
Yeah.
So yeah, so hopefully you can see what's coming there. Well, you can see
Yes.
some of these things through your kaleidoscope. Lots of
Mhm.
color. So yes.
So, some new
Okay.
accessories.
Some new accessories, yes. So again, taking just new ideas and trying to find different ways so that the deco strips can look like different. Some of you have already got lichen and will have seen that beautiful rosette, Celeste, and it's so lovely. So a few of these will be dropping through the season, and again matching them with other bits and pieces. So again, the whole thing about the sets is so that we're not, or you're not left with, oh, I want the tassel and I didn't get the tassel, and because once they're gone, it's really difficult to get the leather, and the atelier is not happy if I go and say to them, would you mind making me one tassel? They'll be like, no, Sarah, we're not doing that. So we're trying to make it easier for you as well. So you've got your sets.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I really like the petite bow as well. Again, that's just a bit of an ode to not having like the big bows so that you've got a bit more choice. And I hope you've seen that even with the other bows that have come out in the last couple of collections, trying to just give you a bit more choice. It doesn't always have to be big. So slightly more delicate, I think. And
Mhm.
yeah, the flare is lovely too. So lots of fun for you ladies. So that's kind of gives you hopefully some hints and tips on what's coming. As Martina says, there's always more that we like to drop in just to keep you excited. Um, so hopefully that is doing that. And I am aware that you've got lots of bags, so I'm thinking about that constantly and how to then sort of dress them up and do some different things with them. We do have some river straps coming, Moira. Most of them at the moment we are waiting on, so they'll flow through. A few of them are to go with specific bags as well. And yes, we will. Maybe Eileen have some exciting new flaps to go with the comp bags. So yes, we'll be getting those out to you. I think you sort of saw how we're putting those together earlier in the week. If you had what on the Lycan things this week, don't worry, we record them because I know that you'd much rather watch us at night than a really exciting Netflix drama. I know what I'd be watching, the Netflix drama. But yeah, so try and catch those because the good thing about the shopping things is if you record them, you can be like my dad and fast forward to all the bits and then just catch the bits. But we're making a lot of effort to try and get the leathers up close to the camera so that you can see them a bit better. Because I know it's really difficult, as we were saying earlier. So yes, I'm not expecting you to watch it every hour, every single evening. That'd be five. Well, it'd be about an hour and a half, depending how long I can talk for. Should tell you that I've been doing a few TikToks and I've actually broken my own record and I managed to speak for an hour and 2 minutes on TikTok about a whole bunch of random subjects. And just as well, I didn't get too I had to keep checking myself out so I don't do too mad. But I've been trying to practice a bit of that as well. So that's a bit of fun. So yeah, if you're really bored, you might catch a live ramble from me. Megan was watching it and assured me that she was listening to every single word. Inspired her for her afternoon. So yes, and I was surprised to see that some people did actually stay the whole way. I was like, they need a job. They need something else to do.
We've got a few questions.
Yes.
We might have a couple of new bags. We're not revealing anything just yet, just because of production. So we'll wait and we'll
Yeah.
surprise you perhaps.
Yes, yeah, we do. We do,
Yeah.
and sort of a new leather that I've been searching for about half my life, I think, but finally found this. So not so much, more like the sort of the foundation, i.e. the bag being the foundation, rather than these collections, which are obviously the trims, I suppose. So to use needlework terms, which I know Eileen understands. So yeah, um, always when you do a new bag, the complex thing is the atelier has to learn how to do them, and so it always takes a little bit longer. So they're a little bit behind where they should be, but that just makes it more exciting because it just means we've got even more coming. But yeah, I think some of you that have crept into the office and somehow sometimes do manage to get a bit near my desk will have seen some bits and pieces. And actually, anyone that does come to the office, I always ask for some feedback. So far, we've had some good feedback about some of these leathers. So I think you'll be suitably happy, shall we
Yeah.
say.
So the new
Yes,
leathers, Joanne, we've got the Rosa coming in the orbits, but apart from that, we're not doing them in bags. We've got a couple of milli pouches and a couple of well, everything comes in an ivy, and then we've got a few in the milli pouch. So the small bags, yeah.
yeah, smaller bags. And I think again that, just as we've learned more and more about the best way to present the collections, having, some of the bags can be rather overwhelming if it's a whole pattern. So I've been conscious of that. I suppose as I've got more experience and I've got to know you guys more, I kind of start to understand what works best. And it's you've got to start with some quieter things that you can sort of build upon. So I'm quite conscious of that these days. Yeah, and more croc and yes, and lots of teal and definitely patent croc because it's such a lovely leather, as I said earlier, really chic and it just looks and holds itself so well. So I've got lots of colours with that. Honestly, I've got most of, I think I'm completely planned now, right up till, well, October, November next year. That's the only way to get ahead of this, and then not leave ourselves sort of lagging or not having the stuff that we need. So it's been probably this year's been the toughest just to get it all organized. And if we can't sell bags, I've actually discovered that I'm pretty good at making up mood boards, putting a lot of Velcro on them and sticking lots of color on them. So fuzzy felt, better watch out because that's my next business, I think. So I reckon all of you ladies that like making things, doing all of that would like my mood board that I've made. Yeah. So and yes, jewelry. So Leslie and I've had, and Leslie probably more than me, has had great fun with the jewelry. So it's really sort of inspired me to get moving in that direction. And we've done jewelry in the past, um, and it's always been a bit difficult because it's not really sat or matched. But this time we've really had a bit more time. And what's clear is that trying to make things that work with your bags. That's one of the things I like about Scottish Julia because she always talks about this, and I never really thought about it. But she was like, having wrist candy, as she calls it, to actually, Jamie Jam, I need to phone you back, darling. If Lucy's on here, tell Jamie in a minute. He's phoning me. Yeah, and so being able to have bracelets that kind of match the straps on your bags. So some of you that came to the boat will have seen some of this, and I know some of you are wearing it as well. So we're going to do a lot more with that. And so some of the bracelets, for instance, could be worn on your bags. And I've got little charms that can be hung off them as well. So we've got some really fun pieces for you all to enjoy, gold and silver. So probably, yeah, both colors. So that's going to be really fun and enable you to just take the little pieces off. But funnily enough, as usual, the little things take the longest. And so that's why I've had to delay because our final little bits that we need to do to hook things on are actually delayed because of the typhoon that appeared yesterday. And I'm like, but shouldn't the stuff have left a week ago? What are you talking about? Typhoons. But yes, so we should have that soon. And then we're reckoning sort of middle to end of October, in time for Christmas, for presents and all the rest of it. So that'll be fun. Yeah, so we'll do that. So yes, Heidi's got a bracelet already. I've been testing bracelets, and and so have you been testing those that were on the boat. So that's good too. SH studs for the decos coming soon. Yes, they too are stuck on the ship coming from the typhoon land. But yes, they're well on their way. So that will be, yeah, those are really nice. I really like those. And that has been a work in progress. Just to make that work. God, they screw on because if you use magnets fall off, and they've all got different strengths of magnets. So, it's been quite the thing. Um, so that's that. Second, the multi-chagrin. Yes, that's coming back in. Croc leather, not patent, more praline. I think we've got something that's it's not so much croc, but is a sort of a praline color coming in. So I think but it'll be more on the full grain side, rather than getting the non-patent mock crocs is actually sort of the matte ones, I guess is a way to describe them, is proving a bit more difficult at the moment, just because we've got more of the patent look, and of course the manufacturers and the tanneries, they'll kind of do what's popular. Remember, Jules was saying like a year back, they're planning, and then we're kind of like, ugh. So that will change, but yeah, a bit more on the patents side at the moment.
Yeah, our Advent box will be back. That'll be available
Yes.
probably around November. So we have a limited number of these available. but we do
Yes,
have the
and we've been
advents.
planning those, haven't we?
Hmm.
Yes. £8,000 each. That should be fine. That will make the budget and we'll all be happy. Some of them I've seen, and I kid you not, some of them that have been popping up on my screen, I'm like, God, you must think I'm a millionaire. What, £8,000? It's just
I
mad.
know some of these
You'll be
advent
glad to
calendars,
know
yeah.
we're not charging you £8,000 for those.
Yeah.
But it's an idea. Hoping for a purple mock croc. Ooh, for
Mm,
that,
yeah.
yes.
White mock croc. I think white's probably more towards the spring summer. We might do that. So yeah,
Yes, and a
that's
bit of
definitely
lizard. Yeah, there's a bit of lizard there as well. Yes. So yeah, that's it. You need to rob a bank, Wendy. Trust me, I need to rob a bank as well because I have to rob the bank to make the stuff. So it's like on both feet. We've both got the same issue. Yeah. I've not found anywhere I can dig into yet under the ground to get in. That would be good. And obviously one of the things that to help through that I think, yeah, there are some bows, and the bows are spread through, not as, but spread through the three different types, really, rather than all being about the bigger bows. We've got the petite
yeah.
one, and we've got
So
the bijou bow as well. So,
we've got
um,
the sort of big bow that you know, that's coming in
yeah,
navy, cherry, porcelain, and tan, and then the petite bow is coming in pink kiss, porcelain, navy, and tan, and then the bijou bow will be coming in the limited edition leathers that we're releasing
yeah. So we'll
across the
sort
quarter.
of
So there's plenty bows to come. So you'll all be,
plenty bows.
yeah.
Yeah, plenty of other deco strips as well, just
Mm,
to break it up, give you something different. So yeah, big teal and some flaps. Yeah, we've got a set of flaps, and we've got flaps in our more like the Chagrin and the R classics. Um, so we're sort of covered there, and more flaps in plain. Yeah. We'll
yeah.
keep on top of that.
Yes, tan. Yeah,
Lovely.
we do have a, no, we don't have a big teal bow. We've got navy, cherry, porcelain, and tan in the big bow. Yeah.
Have you any from last year? Have you any from last year to
Any
see?
advent boxes? No, no, we don't. No, there'll be new surprises.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. It's got to be Silky Plain River straps. The river straps at the moment are on their way. And some of them that we've got are attached to bags. And then we've got other plain ones as well. So we've actually designed some bags to match webbing straps. And then we've got a strap with my name on in case I lose myself. So we've got a few more coming as well, just to try and mix them through, and some different grab handles, to just change out the Geminis as we go through as well. So lots of little things coming in and out just to keep everything exciting. So yeah, there's going to be lots coming, and there is a multi-chagrin flap on the list coming. Yes. Can you say what was in last year as a clue? I don't know much. Wendy, are you
Oh
talking about
God,
the?
there was 12 different things, Wendy, that I can't even remember. There's
Yeah.
11 accessories in a bag, which will be the same this year. So it'll be a mixture of new items and current items. And yeah, it's just really
Yeah, it's a
um,
surprise.
a
It's Christmas.
surprise. Yeah,
12 days of
surprise.
Christmas. Yes.
We can't
Add
tell
my
you what's
calendar.
inside. Yeah, we're not telling you.
That will
King's
take away
knots,
the
straps, or
fun.
tassels. No, we've not got King's knots, but we do have some joyful jewels making a comeback. So yeah, there's
Other
plenty. We've got some new
places.
strap extenders and bits and bobs. So yeah, lots to come.
Lots
Will
of
Cherry
fun.
go with berry accessories? Yes, they will tone it beautifully.
They will indeed. Yes, we do try with that.
It all sounds fabulous. Yes, it does. So I think you should all go and hit reserve now and pick
Yes.
your comp bags. I can't wait to see what you'll choose. Go for the pink. Um,
No, go for the titanium.
we always have
Is
bets
it
in the
hard?
office what colour is going to be the most popular, so it's quite fun. It was definitely the pink for last quarter. The pink Cerakote you all snapped up really quickly, so that was nice. The
Yeah.
comp bags will be available now, Moira. We are about to send out the email, so you can either see the post in the Bags of Joy group, or you'll get an email, or it'll be available via the VIP club room. So lots of ways to access it there.
Good. Any more questions? Leopard, leopard,
I
leopard.
just wanted to tell you one more thing before we finish up tonight, that for the first time in Sarah Haran history, tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. we are launching a sale. So
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
sale
Oh my God,
sale
yes.
will go
Just to kick
live
you
at
all off, yeah.
we never ever
Right.
start a quarter with a sale, but we've lost our marbles, so we're doing it this quarter. Yeah, really exciting actually. We'll have a big sale this weekend. It's going to run till midnight on Sunday, so you've got 3 days to shop. Sarah and I will be live on Saturday again. We're going to be doing 10
Good.
till 1 in the office with lots of surprises for sale. We'll be spinning the wheel, we'll be doing lots of fun stuff. So we're going to have a really fun couple of days with that. And then next week we'll hit the new collections. So there's lots happening.
Looking
And
out
we'll
for
send out more
Tuesday.
information as we go. But yeah, it's 7 o'clock. It's all kicking off online. So if you've been waiting for a little saving, then tomorrow is your chance.
To enjoy. Yes,
Mm-hmm. I saw a
exactly.
lot of
Yes.
mouths opening. They're like, oh,
Yeah, that's what I'm
like,
saying. That's actually what the accountant's saying. But anyway, I do like to bring joy.
yeah,
Not so sure he enjoys my type of joy, but anyway, that's it. Give everybody always trying to change it up, keep it moving.
yeah.
So yes, Alison, I quite agree. Get your dinner in.
Get your dinner.
You
Yeah,
need some energy.
I
And
know.
we'll see you. Oh yeah, we'll see you next weekend. Anyone that's coming to London as well, boat is
Mhm.
open too. So please
Remember,
come
yeah,
along.
next
And
Saturday the 4th, you can either visit the boat or Joy HQ in Glasgow, and we will have our doors open. So come and see us.
doors open and clothing on in London. So look
Okay,
forward to that as well. So
great.
plenty going on.
Lovely to see you all. Thank you so much. And if you need anything, just drop us an email to the usual, and I'll see you tomorrow in the live at 12:15.
Bye everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Ding a ding a ding.